So that looks good, but yesterday was a whole different story because we dropped all the way down from 70K to 62K, right? And maybe some of you panic sold. I'm not one of those people that panic sells. I only sell when we're up. I was just sitting very quietly, but I was thinking about my next video. And this is it. This is a video that nobody wants to watch probably, but everybody should hear it. Now let me explain why that is. Because over the past few weeks, when everything was going up, I gradually took some profits in certain tokens. Now, why did I do that? Am I thinking that the bull market is over? No, I'm actually not thinking the bull market is over. I think we still have a very, very long way to go. However, it's always good to sell while everything is going up and to either hold or add to your portfolio when everything is going down, because that way you can buy something on a discount. Now, the reason why I have been pulling out some money from crypto is because I've been up for many X's on some tokens, so it doesn't make sense for me to just let that sit without taking out my initial, for instance, or maybe a little bit extra to spend on myself or spend on my family or to spend and go do something great with it. So that's the whole reason. But that did make me encounter some issues that I wanted to talk about with you. Because one of the things, right, if you look at this chart and you go like, okay, so 70,000 Bitcoin, you might not be able to sell right here. I've made a dedicated video explaining why you won't be able to sell on the top and where I explain why you won't hit that 100x, so be sure to check it. But let's say you wanted to sell right here, right? 68,000, because you've been entering Bitcoin since forever or since the previous bear market. And now it's time for you to take out some profit. Then you need an exchange for that because you need to withdraw your crypto to fiat and then have that fiat on your bank account. If it's not on your bank account, it's probably useless and you can't do anything with it. And it's always good to have something tangible. That's just the way it is. I know there are a lot of people that want the entire world to revolve around crypto, but that's not the case. The majority of the people are still out of crypto. You're actually in a bubble with a select few of people that are smart and choose crypto, but the majority is still in the traditional financial system. So that means you'll have to take use of that as well. Right, so you need an exchange and then you need to be able to withdraw your fiat to your bank account. But here it goes. If you want to sell, so let's say on 68,000, yeah, it doesn't automatically mean that you will be able to sell there. And the reason for that is because in crypto, we work with liquidity pools. And with liquidity pools, what that actually means is I'm selling something, you're buying something, and if I have an order, it might not be fulfilled entirely. So if you place an order for a market price, that will just pick any random price. So if you have like 10 bananas and you want to sell those 10 bananas for 2 euros, then you probably won't sell them for 2 euros, but then you sell one for 2 euros, the other one for 180, maybe another one for 210, who knows, and then average you'll have a certain price. And that's the price you've got for all your 12 bananas. But if you use a limit order, you say like, look, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. I just want that 2 euros. So that's what my price is going to be. If it's not 2 euros, I'm not selling. If it goes above it, then whatever. I just want those 2 euros. And then you get 12 bananas sold for 2 euros, which is 24 euros, rather than maybe 20 euros when you would have sold through a market price. But if there's not enough liquidity to fulfill that order, you'll be stuck with your tokens and you won't be able to sell it. Now, usually that's not an issue when the market goes up. So in the past 24 hours, we've been up again. But it is starting to become an issue when the market is going down and when tokens are crashing, because that way your order might not be fulfilled and then you're stuck with your order, so you'll have to lower it. So in order for you to prepare yourself for that, what you could do is you could just add in limit orders or stop losses or stop limit or take profit or whatever you want to call it on certain price moments, like price points, and then you'll be sure that as soon as it hits it, it gets sold, and then you don't have to look at it anymore. So another thing is that with the withdrawing fiat issues, that's a note that I've written down. What I've encountered is I wanted to withdraw my fiat and then it said, look, your KYC documents are expired. And let me tell you, I've been waiting for customer service for 3 days now. and I didn't get an answer. So I did get an answer that they are busy and that they would come back to me again, and they requested me not to sign another form or not to fill another form for this ticket. So I haven't done that. I've been waiting, but I start to think about sending another message like, hey, look, what's the status of my ticket? Because I still want to withdraw that fiat to my bank account. And right now I haven't been able to, not through that exchange, that is. So that's an issue as well, you know. And you can imagine we're in like a slow bull run right now. We're in the beginning of a bull run right now. So imagine if everything peaks. If you were here during the last bull market, you would have known that a lot of exchanges had like long waiting lists to get KYC done and to get all those kinds of things done. So that means up until that point that everything is done, I can't take out my money from that exchange. So that means I have to book it somewhere else, which is another point I wanted to discuss about, another tip I want to give you. Make sure you have several exchanges ready, like several exit or escape routes, if you want to call it like that, where you're sure that if one exchange isn't working or if one exchange is in trouble or whatever, you can use a different exchange and still get out your money. That's the most safest way to approach this. Now remember, when it's not your keys, it's not your crypto, so it's not good to leave your crypto on an exchange forever. I mean, if you look at what happened to FTX, people lost their money. It takes a lot of time to get compensated, blah, blah, blah. So you'll have to choose self-custody, in my opinion. So you can use a hardware wallet for that. You can use Tangent, for instance. You can use Decent, which is actually the sponsor of this channel. Let me quickly show you their hardware wallets, because they've actually got two. They've got this one, so the biometric one, and they've got the card one. Now the biometric one lets you just sign off transactions with your fingerprint and log in with your fingerprint. And then the other one, which is one of my favorite ones, is the card one. I have one myself. I use it as well, which is a credit card sized wallet, which you can just use with your NFC technology in your phone to transfer your crypto from one place to another, or from the hardware storage to the exchange, and then convert it and get your fiat that way. So have a look at those hardware wallets for sure. Then another thing, so the KYC expired, so I wasn't able to do that. So I've got a different exchange which would allow me to withdraw my fiat. So that worked. So now I've got some escape routes. So now I can confidently go into the bull market territory again, or in the entire bull market, or however you want to call it. And then another one is that I had a different exchange that I used who said you don't have a verified bank account. So then I had to verify my bank account before I was able to withdraw any fiat. So that took some time as well. So imagine, once again, when we're full blown in the bull market, they will be much more busy handling transactions, handling requests, handling tickets, and there you are, stuck with your money, not being able to take it out. So I really encourage you to make sure that you have things in order for you to stay safe in that regards. So the final note, and I think I'm going very quickly here, but the final note I want to talk about, or that I want to give you guys, is that we do have stable coins like Tether, for instance, and we've got USDC, but Tether has been known for some audit issues. They didn't really have a proper audit just yet. They did show like a print screen, but that's different. It's got a different name. I forgot it. I'll put it up here in the screen. But if you have stable coins, you still run, and you've heard me talk about fiat coins throughout the entire video, because if you have stable coins, you still run into the issue that something might happen to that stable coin. It might lose its peg, for instance. Everybody panics. Look at what happened to Luna, for instance, and that Anchor protocol. Everything collapsed. A lot of people lost their money, and that's not a good place to go. So the lesson I've learned during the last bull market is to have some stable coins, but the majority of it just in fiat money, and preferably on my bank account. And then if I want to buy something, I'll transfer that back. I'll still have a portion of my portfolio in stable coins, so I can just jump into opportunities like what happened yesterday, for instance. But then the majority of my money is still safe, because we're in crypto, and you have to realize you're not a top trader, you're not a smart guy, you'll probably lose all of your money. So if you know that you're going to lose all of the money that you've invested, you might as well make sure that it's less than what you want it to be, so that way you stay safe. So yeah, these are my quick tips for you to stay safe. So really, in conclusion, make sure you have several exchanges that you can use to withdraw your money from, and that's the safest way to go around, and store your crypto on a hardware wallet. And I'll see you guys next time. Doei!